Hello students, today we are going to discuss about dense connective tissue. The dense connective tissue. Dense means they're having in tightly packed or closely arranged. That's a dense. Connective means what? Maybe the connected from one place to another or one cell to another. Tissue means what? A group of the cell. A group of the cells similar or dissimilar and performed similar function, that is called tissue. So the dense connective tissue, already the what are the type of the tissues that present in animal tissue. In this lesson before you studied what are the type of animal tissues, simple tissues and compound tissues. Simple tissues what are that, compound tissues what are that? Yeah, basically divided in four type of the tissues. What are that? Epithelial tissue and connective tissue, muscular or locomotion tissue, and finally transmission or nerve tissue. So the first epithelial tissues they are having in more simple epithelial tissue, compound epithelial tissue. Simple epithelial tissues they are present in 5. Already you studied on compound epithelial tissue. Compound epithelial tissues also already you studied in first 2 subtitle. What are that? First one, epithelial perfect tissue, and second one, first one connective proper tissue, and second one support connective tissue, and this one third one dense connective tissue. In 9th standard, the page number 217. See, dense connective tissues means it is a fiber connective tissue. It is a fiber connective tissue means that maybe the present in fibrous. See, it is connective tissue of dense packed with fiber and fibroblast. This is the composed in fiber and fibroblast. Before that you studied collagen fiber. Yes or no? Like that, this is the composed in fibrous and fibroblast tissue. And then basically they are present in component. What are the components? They are having 2 components. First one, tendons. First one what? Tendons. Second one what? That is ligament. See, the dense connective tissues means that is fiber or fibroblast composed tissue. This is the present in 2 component. What are that? Tendons and ligaments. First one, tendons. See, the hair cord-like structure. The hair cord-like structure, strong structure. This is the cord-like structure. Which like structure means cord-like structure. Cord-like structure, and then this strong structure that joint skeletal muscles to bone. Where present this tendon means they are present in skeletal muscles joint to bone. Just imagine here present in bone. Here present in bone. This is a bone. Where present the tendons means the skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscles means what? Already you studied the skeletal bone. That is the prochatagam, like that. See, the out of the bone. Out of the bones they are present in tissue. That is that muscle like that. Maybe the present in like that. This is tendons. So the tendons were present in, anyone asking means just they are present in the hair cord like strong structure packed with fiber and fibroblast. The joint skeletal muscles to bone. Tendons have great strength and limited flexibility. This having in great strength and limited flexibility. Limited flexibility means this not moving or is not removed in easily. You know that meat eater. Meat eater means when you eat that meat, they are having in bones. That bones, the presence of the muscles you are removing in easily. How that removing means because of that muscles will boiled. So easily you are removing. In case some muscles is not boiled means you are not removed in easily. They are having simple flexibility. The little bit only they are having in flexibility. So the tendons were present means that skeletal muscles to join the bone. They are present in tendons that tightly packed or the strong structure, and then this not limited. The limited flexibility they are present. The limited flexibility. They consist of parallel bundle of collagen. This consists in parallel bundle of the collagen. That means they are present in the composed that this single layer may be the present in like this. This like. So in between they are present in fibroblast. In between they are present in fibroblast. This is fibroblast. Fibroblast. Here present in fibroblast. And then this is the parallelly present in collagen substance. Parallelly means the bone present in vertically. The towards the parallel, the same directions will present in this. So the tendons are present in parallelly. And then between which are present row of fibroblast. This is the present in between in fibroblast. So just you are right. Tendons means they have cord-like strong structure that join skeletal muscles. That join skeletal muscles, and then this the skeletal muscles join to the bone. The present in limited flexibility. Limited flexibility they are present. They consist of parallel bundle of collagen. They consist of parallel bundle of collagen. That is tendons, and then ligament. Second one, ligament. See, they are highly elastic. This is highly elastic. See, before that, tendons means that is the limited elastic. Limited elastic means just in case the presence of the muscles you are given them full pushing force means they are given in more force means will broken in easily. But this is highly elastic. Highly elastics they are having. And then the structure and have the great strength with connected bone to bone. But these tendons they are connected to the skeletal muscles to the bone. But ligament the connected bone to bone. That means maybe bone the present in like this. Maybe bone they are present in. This is a movable bone. One movable bone. So the here present in one more bone. Here they are connected. The ligament where present means they are connected in bones. This is the ligament. This is the ligament. This ligament have highly strength. This having great strength with connected bone to bone that contain very little matrix. This contain very little matrix. What the necessary here want to present that matrix means because of they are given in flexibility. You know that vehicle. You know that any vehicles. The vehicles that continuously they are using. That means they are moving. The good example for the bicycle. Whenever you are pedaling, that time making a sound. That chain will make the sound means that time you using in some lubricant oil. The lubricant oil they are using means thereafter is not coming that sound. Yes or no? The same thing here presence of the fluid. That fluid in case there is not present or the reduce that segregation means thereafter you feel that scratch the bones. So the two bones the crushing. The two bones crushing when means is not presence of the fluid. That fluid is not presence of the reduce that quantity means that time the two bones will crushing. That time that persons, the particular persons will feel in pain. அதுதான் நம்மளுடைய பெரியவர்கள் முன்னோர்கள் சொல்லுவாங்க வயது முதிர்ந்தவர்கள் மூட்டு வலி அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க the joint pain. அப்போ அந்த மூட்டானது என்ன பண்ணும் அப்படின்னா இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய லெகமெண்ட் அதை லிம்ப்னு நம்ம அடுத்து படிப்போம். அந்த இருக்கக்கூடிய ஃப்ளூயிட் அந்த ஃப்ளூயிட் இல்லை அப்படின்னா ஒவ்வொரு எலும்பும் மேல் எலும்பும் கீழ் எலும்பும் உராசும் போது என்ன ஆகுது உராய்வு. அந்த உராய்வுகள்னால எலும்புல தேய்மானம் நடைபெறுகிறது. They reduce the bone size. So that time that persons will feel pain. That is ligament responsibility. And then the joint and allow the normal movement. This joint only will allow the normal movement. That means you want to walk from one place to another place, or you want to jog, or you want to run. You do any physical activities in our body, the responsibility of the joint of the bone. The responsibility joint of the bone. In case during the writing time, whenever you write, the presence of the fingers want to give the flexibility. In case the fingers is not given the flexibility, means how will you write? It's not possible. The same thing, wherever the join the bones, then hand and the leg itself, the presence of the joining bone. அங்க எங்கெல்லாம் எலும்புகள் இணையக்கூடிய பகுதியில தான் மூட்டு பகுதிகள் சொல்லுவாங்க, அங்க எல்லாமே இது இருக்கும், the ligament. That means this broken. In case this ligament is the broken, means thereafter that person is not possible in freely walk. நார்மல் பர்சன் எப்படி நடக்கணுமோ அந்த மாதிரி அந்த பர்டிகுலர் பர்சனால இது broken ஆயிடுச்சு, ஐ மீன் கட் ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா நடக்க முடியாது. அதான் ஜவ்வு அறுந்துருச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க பாருங்க. அதாவது ஃப்ராக்சர் ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா போன் உடைஞ்சாலும், in case that broken, that bone means will join that. Yeah, a few days you taking the rest means other you some treatment that taking means will join that in naturally or automatically. But the jaw is the broken in between the ligament, the broken means is not joined, is not connected that naturally. That one who want to make surgery. You want to make surgery. Okay. And then next one. So now the completed in dense connective tissue, and next one fluid connective tissue. Fluid. See, fluid means what? That is the matrix substance. Here itself they are having fluid means the matrix substance. Connective means what? That matrix substance that connected from one cell to another. The tissues means what? Maybe that presence of the connective tissue in same size or similar or dissimilar, but the performed function is similar function. That is fluid connective tissue. See, the blood and the lymph are the fluid connective tissue. They are having two. What are that? Blood and lymph. Present in two fluid connective tissues. What are that? Blood and lymph. See, which link different parts of the body. The connective tissues which link from part of the body. The cells of the connective tissue are loosely spaced and are embedded in an intercellular matrix. The spaced in intercellular matrix. Intercellular matrix means that's a fluid. Intercellular means already you know, then cells in between. They are present in cells. The group of the cells that are present means in between want to present in some space. That space they are filled in matrix substance. Maybe that is the fluid. So here having then two fluid connective tissues. First one blood and second one lymph. Blood contain corpuscles which are red blood cells. Already you know what are the kinds of the cells that are present in blood. Before that you want to know that blood is the component, two component, plasma and then element. What are that element? RBC, WBC and blood platelets. What are that? The blood itself the present in three. RBC and WBC and blood platelets. The three components are present, and before that this is the element. Before that here present in blood plasma that are present. Blood itself the maximum amount of the plasma that are present. Plasma and then remaining element. This element the present in blood, and then blood cells. This is the RBC. Red blood cells is the otherwise called erythrocytes. Erythrocytes means that is the other name of the red blood cells. And leukocytes. Leukocytes means that is the other name of the WBC. That means white blood cell. And then blood platelets. This is the other name is thrombocyte. That is thrombocyte. So the blood cells. What is the main function of the blood? Blood cells means the presence of the these component. First one RBC. RBC means the before that the connective tissues the blood cells in RBC. RBC the presence in the two kinds of the cells. What are that? Young cells and mature cells. Young cells and mature cell. These RBC cells are basically present in biconcave structure or oval or biconcave structure. Like that, the present in RBC. And then what is the lifespan of the RBC means? That is 120 days. 120 days lifespan. And then young RBC cells means with present in nucleus. At the same time, mature RBC cells means the absence of the nucleus. That absence of the nucleus, the presence of the empty space, that space fulfilled in hemoglobin pigment. That hemoglobin pigment is the responsibility of the carrying respiratory gases. So, respiratory gases that traveling from one place to another place, that means main responsibility of the oxygen. That oxygen and nutrient. Oxygen and nutrient that are carrying from one cell to another cell, that functions they involved in mature. Why that mature RBC cells that are involved that function means because of the mature RBC cells itself, the absence of the nucleus. Absence of the nucleus means that space fulfilled in hemoglobin pigment. So the which pigment that present means hemoglobin pigment. Hemoglobin pigment. See, the hemoglobin pigment means that is the main responsibility of the function. What is the main function? This is the main responsibility, the carrying of oxygen and nutrient from one cell to another cell. So, the red blood cells are RBC cells means that is the other name in erythrocytes. The red blood corpuscles are oval shape. This is the present in oval shape or circular biconcave. Oval shape or circular biconcave. The disc-like cells. The disc-like cells. And lock nucleus. When you mature. You know that when you mature, that time only lock nucleus. But the before the mature, that means the young nucleus, young RBC means they are present in nucleus. And then the contain a necessary pigment called hemoglobin, which is the involved in the transport of oxygen to tissues. So the oxygen carrying one cell to another cell or one place to another place, the main responsibility hemoglobin. And then WBC. Next one, WBC. The WBC is the main responsibility of the immunity. That main responsibility, what is that main responsibility? In immunity. At the same time, WBC is otherwise called leukocytes. WBC is otherwise called what? Leukocytes. See, the WBC means that's a white blood cells. W for white, B for blood, C for cell. Or they are larger in size, contain distant nucleus and are colorless. They contain in nucleus and this is a colorless. But WBC the present in color. That is a red color. This is colorless. Colorless cells that composed in WBC. They are capable of amoeboid movement and play an important role in body defense mechanism. So what is the main function of the WBC? This is involved in defense mechanism of our body. Defense mechanism means what? Any pathogens will affect that your body. Your immunity power will reduce. Whenever you affect the fever, you go and check your doctor. The doctor saying your body is low immunity or immunity power is less or is not having or reduced your immunity power, like that. That is the responsibility of the immunity power in WBC. The WBC level you maintaining in our body means after that a disease or any disease is not affected easily in our body because of that immunity, the presence of the WBC cells is take in immunity. That immunity is fight with against of the causative agents or causative pathogens. And then the WBC are of two types, that is granulocytes and agranulocytes. What are the granulocytes? The first one, granulocytes. And second one, agranulocytes. See, the granulocytes means what? Having irregular shape, nuclei and cytoplasm the present. This is the irregular shape that contain in cytoplasm. So the which WBC cells the present in nucleus and cytoplasm, that is called granulocytes. So the presence of the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm the present means that is called granulocytes. Absence of the cytoplasm, this is absent. Absence of cytoplasm, that is called in agranulocytes. Granulocytes, they are divided in three types. What are that? The neutrophil, basophil and eosinophil. What are the neutrophil, and basophil, and next one basophils, and then eosinophil. See, the granulocytes, the presence of the irregular or ovoid shape, the present in nucleus and cytoplasm. This is the present in the three types: neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. And agranulocyte. Agranulocyte means absence of the cytoplasm. This also divided in two types. What are that? Lymphocyte and monocytes. What are the lymphocytes? They are having two types. And another one, monocytes. So now completed in fluid. Fluid, what are the cells that are completed? RBC and WBC is completed. Next one, blood platelets. Blood platelets. They are minute anucleated phosphoric fragment of gained bone marrow called megakaryocytes. This is then present in the bone marrow. Bone marrow means what? The joining of the bone. That are called in megakaryocytes. They play an important role in blood clotting mechanism. This blood platelets, the main responsibility, blood clotting. Blood clotting means what? Already you know, blood clotting. That means what? Blood clotting, that means what? After you get injury, that means accident, that time they release in blood in continuously. In case the presence of the blood platelets they are having in normally means that person's the blood is not lost. That outer membrane will present in then on outer layer. Dry layer will be formed in the injury surface. The responsibility of the blood clotting. That is the responsibility of the blood platelets. And next one, lymph. First one, the blood cells, the fluid, connective tissue, they are having in types. What are that? RBC cells and WBC cells, blood platelets. RBC cells is otherwise called in erythrocytes, and WBC cells otherwise called leukocytes, blood platelets otherwise called thrombocytes. Now explain about lymph. Next one, lymph. Lymph is a colorless fluid. This also one of the fluid, but RBC cells are the blood having in color, but lymph is not having in color. And then filtrate out of the blood corpuscle. This is filtrate out of the blood corpuscle. It contains of plasma and white blood cells. It contains plasma and white blood cells. Lymph contain plasma and white blood cells already explained, you know, that is a colorless. This present in lymph, and it mainly helps into the exchange of material between blood and tissue fluid. This is what is the main function of the lymph, means the exchanging of the material. What are the materials that are having? That material will exchange from here to tissue. Here means between blood and tissue. Here present in blood. Blood itself having some materials. This one transport from blood to tissue. Because of the tissue will involve in some functions. So want to need some nutrient or respiratory gases other than materials. That material carrying from blood to tissues, which fluid that involve that function means that is lymph. And then next one, muscular tissue. Next, muscular tissue. Muscular tissues means what? Muscular means what? Tell me. That is the outer layer of the body. Yes or no? Muscular means that is the outer part of the body. See, muscular tissue are made up of muscles and form the major part of the contractile tissue. This is composed in muscle cells. The cells means maybe that cells that present in similar structure. The perform the functions also similar. That is the reason this called in tissue. That is the reason this called in tissue. And then form the major part of contractile tissue. They are composed of numerous myofibrils. This is composed in numerous myofibrils. Numerous myofibrils. Each muscle is made up of many long cylindrical fiber arranged parallel to one another. The all muscles that present in parallel. Parallel means just to imagine the hand or a bone present like this. That parallelly, the two words that parallelly want to present in muscles. You see our part of the body. The body organs, how look they present in our body. The two words then attach that muscles. The two words will present in that muscles. So they are composed in numerous fibrils. Each muscle is made up of the many long cylindrical. This is the composed in long cylindrical fibers arranged parallel to one another. According to their structure, location and functions, there are three major types. According to the structure and function and location. What are that? According to the structure and function and location. See, the muscles according to the structure and function and locations, this classified. How many types means there are the three main types. How many types? There are three main types. Three main types. What are that? Skeletal muscles. The first one, skeletal muscles. First one, skeletal muscles. And second one, smooth muscles. Second one, smooth. And last one, cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles. See, the skeletal muscles means their muscles are attached to the bone. The skeletal muscles means these muscles are attached to the bone. Why means because of that already you studied. What that? Tendons. The tendons, the responsibility of the connected from skeletal muscles to the bone. That functions involved in tendons. So the skeletal muscles, these muscles are attached to the bone and are responsible for the body movement and are called skeletal muscles. The body movement is main responsibility of these skeletal muscles only. That means then outer membrane of the bone will cover that muscles. After only they will cover in smooth muscles. And then cardiac muscles only present in the specific organ. This is the specialized muscles. This is composed in the specific organ. That's a heart only composed. And then the work under our control and are also nervous voluntary muscles. Also nervous voluntary muscles. Voluntary muscles means what? Volunteers. You know, the willing people. Involunteers means you want to give the counseling. This is normal movement. Normally movement just you identified where you want to go. Where you want to go, you decided. So like that will move your legs means that towards that muscles also will move. Without muscle is not possible, will move the bone. Because the skeletal muscles are connected to the bone. That is the reason that body movement in our control. This skeletal muscles only the responsibility. And then the muscles fiber are elongated, cylindrical, unbranched with alternating dark and light. This is unbranched. Unbranched means what? Maybe the muscles that present in like that, they are fibric like structure. The fibric means you want to make a thread. The thread like the structure means directly the present means that is the unbranched. Maybe like that the present are divided. Maybe the like that the divided in muscles means that is the branched. So the skeletal muscles is unbranched. This is the cylindrical, elongated and unbranched muscles. And then the alternating dark and light band. Dark and light bands giving them the strip or stripped appearance. They possess many nuclei. They occur in the bicep and tricep. Bicep. So the skeletal muscles where is present in bicep and tricep, you know that arm. That arm in the surface the bicep and then bottom of the arms the present in tricep. And bicep and tricep the present in skeletal muscles and smooth muscles. So someone asking the skeletal muscles were present. Where present in anyone asking means just you want to write bicep and triceps. The bicep and tricep of hands. You know that ham, shoulder, they are present. And then smooth muscles. The nucleus are spindle shaped. The nucleus, smooth muscles, the nucleus, the present, how look they present? Spindle shaped. The spindle shaped nucleus, the present in smooth muscles only. And then with broad middle part and tapering end. This is the present in broad middle. That means what? The muscle cells may be present in like this. See, the middle is the broad. That means the large size the present. And end of the muscles they are having in very narrow and tapering end. Narrow tapering end. So like that in between they are having spiral nucleus. That muscles is called smooth muscles. Or smooth muscles, how look the present means you have to write. This is then the middle of the muscles they are present in broadly and then end of the muscles they are tapering and narrow tapering. These fiber do not bear any strips and hence are called non-striated. This is non-striated muscles. And then they are not under the control of our will and so are called involuntary muscles. This is not controlled in our. So this type of the muscles is not controlled in ourselves. So this type of the muscles is called involuntary muscles. This is called involuntary muscles. See, the walls of the internal organs such as the blood vessels, gastric gland and intestine, villi and urinary bladder contain this type of the smooth muscles. So this type of the smooth muscles where present means you know the gastric tract and the digestive area. The presence of the small intestine, their villi, that small intestine they're having in some parts, they're having villi, that space filled in smooth muscles. This smooth muscles is otherwise called involuntary muscles. And then cardiac muscles. This is the last one, cardiac muscles. See, it is a specialized cardiac tissue. This is the specialized tissue. This specialized tissue are present in the heart. The muscles fiber, the branches join to from a network called intercalated disc. This is intercalated disc. Intercalated disc. This is the specific tissue. Specific tissue, the only present in the human heart. This is then interconnected. See, the from network is called in intercalated disc, which are unique destination fiber of a cardiac muscles. The contraction of cardiac muscles is involuntary and rhythmic. Involuntary and rhythmic. That means the making in sound. This type of the specialized muscles will compose that human heart will pumping. That is muscular tissue. See the today's sessions. Let us quick revise the dense connective tissues, the tendons and ligament. The tendons and ligament. Tendons means the skeletal muscles to bone connected, and ligament means bone with bone connected. And then fluid connective tissue. What are that? Blood. The presence of the blood and lymph. Blood, they are present in 3 cells. What are that? RBC, WBC, blood platelets. RBC cells, the presence of the biconcave structure and oval. The presence of the mature RBC, absence of the nucleus. That cells is the responsibility of the carrying nutrient and oxygen from one cell to another. That is the main function. And WBC, that is the main responsibility of the fighting against the pathogens. That's a immunity. That main responsibility, immunity. And then RBC is the present in red color, WBC is not present in color. So WBC is colorless fluid. And then blood platelets. That blood platelets, the main responsibility of the blood clotting. That main function is blood clotting. And lymph. The lymph is colorless fluid. That also colorless fluid. What is that main function of the lymph? Means the carrying material from blood to tissue. So the carrying material from blood to tissue. And then muscular tissue. Muscular tissues, they are having in 3 types. What are that? The skeletal muscles and smooth muscles, and then cardiac muscles. The skeletal muscles, they are present in bicep and tricep of arms, and smooth muscles, they are present in small intestine and then gastric gland and interstitial blood vessels. The cardiac muscles, they are present in human heart. That is the specialized specific contractive tissues. They are composed in human heart. Thank you.